Hello guys, let's have a quick overview on how to unlock and use the market in Path of Exile 2. By the end of this video, I will also show you a few tricks on how to evaluate items and also some external software that will help you to do so even easier. So first things first, to buy an item from another player, simply click right here on these three dots and select the market. Here you can search for the item of your choice. I will explain filters and how to find the best item for your price range later on. And then you can press right here and you will be teleported into the seller's hideout. Right on, you will find yourself in this menu where you will see the seller's storage with the item of your choice highlighted. Simply drag it into your inventory and you are done with your purchase. Now let's see what you need to do to sell something in the market the same way. If you're playing for the first time, you're gonna have to complete the main story up until Act 4, where you will meet Ange. Ange will give you a quest to unlock your hideout, and only after you do so you will be able to sell items in the market. So progress normally into your story until you unlock your hideout and then go find Ange there. To travel to your hideout, go to any waypoint and check right here for the hideout option. Now, if you remember, when we went to buy an item from another player, we had access to one of his storage boxes. This storage box is a special one and you will have to buy it from the microtransaction shop. Thankfully, after purchasing the base game, you will also be given 150 of these premium points, which means you will be able to purchase one of these tabs. So, go to your microtransaction shop and search for Stasis, and then you will find there the Merchants tab. Go speak to Ange and select the Manage Shop option. Here you will see your Merchants tab, drag any item you want in there and select the price you want to sell it. Players can now visit your hideout and buy items even when you are offline. When something is sold, Ange will notify you and then you can pick up the currency from this tab right here. In case you are totally new in Path of Exile 2, players are using some specific items as currency. The most common one is the Exalted Orbs and then the Divine Orbs. Buying the currency tab from the microtransaction shop is also highly recommended since it will store and sort out multiple useful items for you and it will help you understand each item market value much easier. Now let's go back to our guide. For the next part, we will have to look on how to search items in market in order to find the best item for your price range. First thing to look out for, especially for those who are still leveling their characters, you will need to understand the difference between item level and level requirement. The item level that you can see on the first tab, the type filters, is how strong an item is. If you are still leveling though, you will need to go to the requirements tab and set your level as the maximum level. But of course, if you want to buy an item and be able to equip it right away. Next, let's say that you want to buy a specific item that you've seen on the guide you are currently following. For example, let's say that you want to buy a good staff. Type the name of the item on the top and click search. Go to stat filters and start adding the stats that you need the most. I believe that the best way to understand if an item is strong or not, or if its price is cheap or expensive, is to first find out how much the best item costs. So an extremely strong staff for my current build should have spell damage percentage, additional level to every spell skill, cast speed, and some percentage of our damage into cold damage or even fire damage. An item that has all of these stats should already be very expensive, but every single of these stats can have a high roll or a low roll. Clicking a specific stat right here will sort items out depending on the current stat. For example, right now, the items are sorted based on the maximum spell damage. Obviously, you won't be able to buy expensive items right now, so we're gonna have to limit stats a little bit. But before we do so, there is always a possibility that someone actually registered an item with extremely good stats at a very low price. One thing you can do is you can go to market filters and select how many Exalted Orbs or Divine Orbs you are willing to spend. And then if you sort items out again, you will find the item with the highest spell power on this specific price range. Of course, checking only one stat won't do the trick, so what is best is to actually set a minimum limit of some of the other stats first. For example, no matter what, I want my new weapon to have at least 5 levels to all my spells. So I don't care if I lose some spell power along the way, I just need to have the +5 to all my spells. The same goes for the rest of your stats, you can set them up individually. But again, you will find yourself stumbling on very expensive items simply because they are the best in slot with all these good stats. So finally, you can just uncheck one of these stats and sacrifice some power for economy. Again, a simple example, if we remove the spell speed for the equation, hopefully the price will drop. We can always come back and buy another stuff when we will have more currency. And this is one way to search for the best item for your own price range. Now, let's see how to evaluate if an item that we drop is actually good or not. Obviously, if you know which stats are the best for its build, it will help you a lot, but this can only come with experience. What you can do as a beginner is to at least understand the tire rolls. By pressing Alt, extra information about an item will appear, and what we are looking for is for the T numbers. The lower tire number is, the better the item has rolled. While you are on a safe zone, press Ctrl Alt click on an item and it will apply its stats on the market search and it will look for an identical item. For legendaries, it's much easier to determine if it is strong or not. All legendaries have the exact same stats but with different rolls. So for legendaries, you will only have to check if yours rolled good or not and then set the corresponding price. For magic and rare items though, each of them can be very different. So if we press Ctrl Alt click on a rare item, we will need to remove the bad stats first. So we keep only the strong stats and we search for the similar items. And again, this is only one way to determine if an item is good or not. Blue items can also be very expensive, and the reason why is because players can take them and upgrade them in any way they like. The only thing to look out for blue items is the item level and how good the item stat have rolled, and of course if the stat is important or not. This process is for another video, just have in mind that rare and blue items will be the most expensive in the late game. Before we reach our final stop, I will have to mention two external filters. The first one is a filter that will show you items you drop with different colors and sounds, and it will filter out less useful items. They usually come with levels of filtering. For example, pro players on the very high-end game don't want to see that many stuff on the ground, but beginners who just reach the end game will probably want to see more stuff. For this one, type Poe2 filters and you will find it. Again, its installment is for another clip. I will maybe have a link in the description about it later. And the other one is the market overlay application. This one is also available in Overwolf if you are familiar with it, or you can download this standalone. And what it does is that you can press Alt-E at any time, you don't have to be in a safe zone or something, and it will run a quick check of the item that you mouse over into the market and you can check its price right there. It's not like it works 100% correctly and you can follow it blindly, but it is a good addition if you need some help deciding which items are good or not. Again, I will leave a link in the description. Finally, Ange has one more option which is available right on when you meet her, when you can easily trade currencies. Speak to Ange, press trade currency and then simply select the item that you want and the item that you are willing to give. Realistically, you will select the item that you want and then you will have to buy it with either exalted orbs or divine orbs. Some items are cheaper, so they may be traded for other currencies as well, but most of the times you will have to use one of these two. Same goes if you want to sell currencies, gems or whatever, in order to get some divine orbs to buy a piece of gear later. And with that I will close this video. Path of Exile 2 has so many things a new player has to know. I want to upload more beginner guides for this game since YouTube is filled with high level information and not so much for beginners. If you like the format of this video, make sure to leave a like and maybe a sub. Thank you all for watching, have fun playing and see you on the next one.